Welcome back to Bleav in Softball, presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Jenna Becerra, and however you got here today, whether you downloaded the audio version on Apple, Spotify, etc., or you're watching the video on YouTube, thank you and welcome back. Subscribe and rate the show wherever you get your pods. Follow us on Instagram and X at Bleav in Softball. That's BLEAV. And yes, there's merch. Click the link in our bio on either page or go to shop.bleav.com to purchase. 3 different shirts available for you, covering our bases, safer out, and catch you soon. All right, let's go through today's lineup. First, we will be covering our bases. I'm going to share some call-outs. Then we'll head into today's interview with Taylor Tinsley, an All-American pitcher who went from the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City to UCLA graduation to her pro debut with the AUSL, all within just 3 weeks. So I'm so excited for you to hear it. And then we'll bring it home and wrap up with some final thoughts. All right, let's go. Covering our bases. We're back with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. They have a little bit of almost everything when it comes to sports betting. The World Cup continues right now, for example, and it has been so fun to see fans from all over the world experience the US. You know, we go to Europe and we marvel at 1,000-year-old castles. They come here and they can't get over how good ranch dressing is. So there's something for everyone. And when it comes to the diamond sports, the Men's College World Series just wrapped up with the Oklahoma Sooners winning the title. So it looks like OU can do it on the men's side too. And now, of course, the MLB continues as well. But AUSL Pro Softball has gotten deeper into the second season of the league with the expansion teams, and it has not disappointed. So check out all the odds for these and more in FanDuel Sportsbook. And no matter what you're into, there's something for you. So check all that FanDuel has to offer, from same game parlays and more, because we believe in softball and we believe in FanDuel. And summer softball has a lot to believe in as well. On the pro side, I mentioned the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League making its way through the regular season. So as a refresher, the teams in the league, 4 that the league launched with last year, that's the Utah Talons, now based in Salt Lake City, Chicago Bandits, the Carolina Blaze in Durham, and the Texas Volts from Round Rock, plus the 2 expansion teams, the existing OKC Spark and the brand new Portland Cascade. The Talons are the reigning champs, and they're on top of the standings right now once again. Every single rookie who received a golden ticket signed, and we have seen debuts from players that we just saw in college this season, including several at the Women's College World Series. In the Champ Series alone, folks like Reese Atwood, Leanne Good from Texas, the national champs, and then Nija Kennedy from Texas Tech too. Plus, the reserve pool has a ton of great talent and great players as well. Some on the roster joined late this season because they were working around other commitments, like the Japan League, the pro league over there. So some reserve players had signed for the short term, and it has been great seeing them on the field as well. And, you know, some names that people thought should have received a golden ticket in the first place, like a Ruby Malin and a Lindsey Grine, for example. We've gotten to see them play pro. Now, those original draftees are back, including the reigning AUSL Pitcher of the Year, Georgina Korick, for example. As always, multiple Bleavers are participating in the AUSL, and that comes from all kinds of seasons from this show, but even just from this season alone. Players like Carlin Pickens, Lindsey Grine, as I mentioned, Sydney Stewart, and of course now Taylor Tinsley. And coaches on staff, Joe Evans with the Spark and Taryn Moat McKinney, of course, from last week, who is with the Bandits. Postseason will be July 23rd through the 27th in College Station, Texas, at Davis Diamond, the home of Texas A&M softball. We love that crossover. So let me know which team you're rooting for. Who are you adopting as a fan? Keep me posted. I want to know about it. It's also not the only pro softball that we're seeing this summer here in the U.S. The Atlanta Smoke, 2-time WPF champs, by the way, Florida Vibe, and New York Rise. We've previously talked about them competing independently and in various structures. They're all in the Professional Softball League, the PSL, as it's now known, in its first year. The KC Diamonds is a new organization with a lot of momentum out of Kansas City, which is a growing hotbed for women's sports, like the NWSL's Kansas City Current, for example, on the soccer side. Plus, the Chattanooga Chill and the Florida Breeze are also competing on the schedule in the PSL. Season started in mid-June. It goes through early August, and there's great talent there too. The AUSL really is still in its early days, so it's not possible for everyone that should to get the call or get a golden ticket, so it creates more opportunities. And again, the talent is fantastic. It includes people like Ava Cusack from Nebraska, who we just saw at the Women's College World Series, Casey Ricard, one of the best to ever come out of Boston, Janae Jefferson for Texas, and then Bleavers like Kiki Malloy and Morgan Howe, just to name a few. So learn more at professionalsoftballleague.com. On the international side, an exciting announcement, a ton of investment going into our sport, a brand new training facility in Oklahoma City. A 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art indoor complex is going to be added onto Devon Park Stadium, which is where the World Series is hosted, of course. It is a $25.4 million city project. So it's going to be the primary training location for USA softball national teams. The men too, that includes everybody. And this is great ahead of the LA 2028 Olympics that are going to be held there and hosted in Oklahoma City. There's a locker room, a weight room, recovery spaces, meeting spaces, practice fields, etc. And just knowing how hot it's going to be during the Olympics in Oklahoma City, I think this is a huge win. The International Cup, which used to be called the World Cup of Softball, it's been around for over 20 years. It's going to be July 30th through August 3rd this summer, and it's hosted at Devon Park, of course, sanctioned by the WBSC, the number one overall team in the world, Japan, Team USA, of course, Canada, China, Australia, American Samoa, and the USA Elite team as well will all be there, so keep an eye out for that. Plus the Japan All-Star Series, which has been around for about 10 years now. And it'll be this fall in November, the 19th through the 22nd in Japan. It's going to be a 3-game series again. We've mentioned it on this show before. Last time around in 2024, the USA got swept. Looking for some revenge here. So more at usasoftball.com there. And then travel ball. Can't forget about it. It is peak time in the summer. The Colorado tournaments are getting started. The Sparkler's been around forever. For example, some of the biggest recruiting tournaments when I played were in Colorado in the summer. I actually got the call from Stanford to officially offer me a scholarship at the airport after this tournament. Those were the timing and the rules at the time for me, and it was a really cool moment. Nationals coming later this summer, PGF July 17th through August 2nd in SoCal. That's 10 and under through 18 and under. And then Alliance Fast Pitch July 13th through the 31st in Indiana, also 10U to 18U. With D1 softball, in case you missed it, I had been a part of and proud to be a ton of content from being on site at the Women's College World Series. And there's going to be some more continuing in the summer with the pro leagues and some of these other levels of softball that we're going to see. So find it all across D1 softball social media channels, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. The handle is D1 softball. And this season of the D1 Softball podcast had a mix of co-hosts, coworkers of mine and all Bleavers, of course, Rhiannon Potke, Justin McLeod, and Eric Lopez. The season is in the books, so catch up on all the episodes on the D1 Softball YouTube channel or wherever you get your pods too. And of course, so much movement this time of year in the quote-unquote off-season for college softball. The transfer tracker, the portal has closed for undergrads. Many have found their new homes. And many more are still in the process. So keep up with their destinations and all things about the movement at d1softball.com, plus the coaching carousel too for movement with coaching staffs. But summer softball coverage will be there at all levels. And someone who's in the thick of summer softball is today's guest. And she basically, again, went straight from the World Series to graduation to playing pro. And I got to talk with her right before her pro debut in the circle. And not long after our conversation, by the way, she ended up throwing a complete game shutout to seal the series sweep for the Utah Talons, alongside UCLA teammate and fellow rookie Jordan Bullery. So let's head into the interview. She's an All-American pitcher, 2-time All-Big Ten and Pac-12 honoree, new UCLA grad, AUSL Golden Ticket recipient, and Utah Talons rookie Taylor Tinsley. Taylor, thank you for joining. I couldn't be more excited for this.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
And it honestly must be an absolute whirlwind for you right now. So yeah, you're going from the Women's College World Series to graduation to being a professional softball player. How has that whirlwind been so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot, honestly. Just kind of getting into things again, and had like a little break there for a second. Jordan and I, my teammate at UCLA and teammate here, we both had to finish up finals and had graduation. So unfortunately, we missed the first series of the AUSL season, but we got out here for the next one as quick as we could. So it was really fast moving, really fast paced, but I love it. I mean, that's honestly the life of an athlete, I think so.
Completely. And also, as somebody who also was on the quarter system in school, not everyone realizes that, yeah, the finals round and everything that you have to do to finish up school is like right around the World Series. It couldn't
Yeah,
be
it's
more
crazy.
inconvenient. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The quarter system, everything moves so fast and there's just so many deadlines, honestly, at the worst times. But yeah, still had to finish out school strong. So
Yeah. I used to say like the semester school girlies just could not relate to, having to still, because they get to be done, just play
mhm.
softball during the postseason. Must be nice,
I know, must be nice.
Gosh. Because everything that you and your whole team and really everyone was accomplishing at the World Series, on top of knowing you still had school with the student athlete thing, was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it was crazy. That's honestly where like study hall comes in and us just making sure that we're all on the same page. And even Coach Misha, she did a great job at just like making sure we were all on top of our academics and not slacking.
yeah, it's a big deal, the whole student part of the student athlete thing.
Yeah.
But a topic that was so big around you and your performance was just the load that you carried in the circle for UCLA, really throughout your whole career, but especially this season. So just to throw some numbers out there for you, you've
Okay.
probably heard these, or maybe you're like, I don't pay attention to those, but so everybody knows.
Okay.
You were tied for leading the nation with 33 wins this past season, which is also third in program history. Second in the nation with 48 appearances, 27 complete games as well. You threw 235 innings this year, which is almost 3.5 times the next arm on your team. Also, almost 90 innings more than the rest of the staff combined. You threw 3,998 pitches on the season, plus a season high at 181 in the last game of your year. Did you feel that? Like how did that sort of culminate for you, knowing that you were the one and you had such a heavy load?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did feel it for sure, but I think that's where I just pay thanks to Coach I and our trainer Janice Lee, just really making sure that I was first for everything, just in terms of making sure that I'm talking about how I'm feeling truthfully and just knowing that they had my back throughout it all and just really making sure I had treatment and a good recovery process. The program that I had in the weight room looked a little bit different than some others because I mean, still having to maintain muscle throughout all the wear and tear. So it was a lot for sure. It was, and it was tough, but I wouldn't do it any other way. I think it was so much fun just getting out there competing, and yeah, I love it. I loved it.
There's obviously that physical aspect, like you just mentioned, and having
Yeah,
to make sure your body's good. But mentally, I would imagine that that's a lot to take on. Also, I mean, there's
yeah.
this level of, is it more pressure because like, okay, a lot of this is on my shoulders, or was it almost easier because you already knew, all right, I already know I'm getting the ball, every single day?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little tough, physically for sure. Obviously, I did go through a little bit of an injury during the middle of the season that I just played through, and that was just kind of something that I had to do, and it was something that I wanted to do for the team. So just really kept on pushing through that, and then on the mental side, yeah, it was probably the toughest there, probably worse than physical, I would say. I did go through a big point in season. I mean, honestly, throughout like most of the season where I was struggling a lot mentally, my mental health was not okay. So that's where I was kind of with Dr. Mondo a lot. That's our sports psychologist that we work with, and working with him a lot. And I started seeing other therapy as well, just to really make sure that I was okay, honestly. And I did get to a point where the pressure was a little bit overwhelming, but I think that's where I turned the pressure is on me. Whereas like kind of what Mono says, like pressure is on me because greatness is in me. And I think that's where I started to kind of switch my mindset into thinking that, I mean, everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for all of us and has a path for all of us. So I was thinking, okay, this is the path that he wants me on for my last season. And I'm really going to take that. I'm really going to take that, take it in, soak it in, and just go for it, honestly. So I think it was definitely a mindset shift throughout season of just I'm going to do this for my team, and I want to do this for my girls. Definitely a really big team player, and I play the sport because one, it's fun. I love winning, but I just love making friendships and love making new sisterhoods. And this team was so special in that way. I mean, we had 20 girls on the team, 21 girls after we added on Maddie Belleville, but we had 21 girls on the team, and that was like it was the smallest team that I've ever been on. So it just felt like we were all best friends. Honestly, it was great. We all hung out on the field and off the field pretty much all the time. Like, honestly, I don't think I could ever say that about any other team that I've been on. Even back in travel ball days, we seriously did everything together. And I think that's why I wanted to do it even like just even more like for this team and for those girls because we were all just so close. Like, genuinely, they're all my best friends. So,
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that about your
yeah.
mental health journey. I think that's important, right? We talk about how important it is to talk about it a little
Yeah,
bit
for
more.
sure. And especially like with pitching too, like I want young girls and even like girls my age like to know that it is okay. Like pitching is really hard. Like, honestly. And especially like this last year when all of it was on my shoulders, like it was really tough to go through, but I'm so glad that all the girls supported me throughout it all, the coaching staff, our support staff. I mean, I had all the help that I could get in the book and just knowing that they were all there for me and pushing for me, it just made me want to work through it harder. It made me want to really like make sure I was better for them and for myself, of course. But yeah, it was really helpful to know that they were by my side for sure.
There's a circle drawn around you for a reason, right? We also say that about pitchers. But I'm also just glad that you had that support. That's huge. And
Hmm.
I don't know that everyone always feels that, right? Or it looks different for everybody, but the fact that you had that with your teammates. Dr. Mondo, you mentioned, I did want to ask you about him because I feel like he's not talked about as much, but that mental side is everything. And it seemed like, he was actually a pretty crucial part in this team's journey.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we came in as a really young team, not very much experience. So I think that Mondo, for sure, he definitely really rallied us together as one. I think it was also easy for us to all connect because a very small team and honestly a lot of
Yeah.
similar personalities. So it was really easy for us to gel together and have tough conversations about things that people don't normally talk about. And even Mondo's individual support one on ones with all the girls and especially the younger girls. Just making sure that they're mentally we're ready for Big Ten play, make sure they're ready for postseason, all the things that come with that. It's really high stress and it's a lot, especially if you've never been there before. So it was really cool to see how we worked with all the players individually on how to get their mind right and I mean even goes down for the inexperience and also to the experience, just the how much time he's put into Megan, Jordan, and I. It was awesome. He's been there with us since our sophomore year, and to finish out the year with him by our side, it was honestly just like the way that it should have played out. Like he was there for us throughout it all. So it was really good to have him right there. And I still have chats with him now too, just checking in and everything. So he's the best. He's the best.
I love that. I love that you had that at all, as a part.
Hmm.
Because when I played, those back in my day kind of moment, we didn't have sports psychologists on staff, right? Like we didn't have
Yeah.
some of these things, and it's so crucial, and it's nice to see it actually have an impact,
Hmm.
and for it to be utilized. I appreciate seeing that as
No, yeah,
someone
for
who didn't
sure.
have it. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially like now, like with how social media is now and how softball is now with the media and everything, which it's great. I love that softball is finally getting the exposure that it needs, but it also comes with its downsides. I mean, I even got to a point towards season where I had to delete social media and get off
Mm.
of it because it just gets a lot. Like it's a lot of information thrown at you, whether it's good information or bad information. It's still information. So I think it was definitely time to take a mental break in that way. But having Dr. Mondo and even other teams that have sports psychologists, it's definitely a need for this day and where sports at and where college sports is at.
And knowing what you need when you need it, like you just said, I knew I
Hmm.
needed to delete social media. Great. Knowing that about yourself, doing it, taking the steps, like all of those things are so, so helpful. And you
Yeah.
could just see, like, yeah, I loved the quote that you shared from Mondo a little bit ago, just pressure's on me because greatness is in me.
Hmm.
That's so perfect. And I feel like just absolutely encapsulates you guys, and especially you.
Hmm.
You mentioned Jordan and Megan. The way that you were just in the circle for every single pitch at the World Series. The way that Megan, her methodical sort of pre-pitch routine where she's
Hmm.
breathing and she has like such a specific approach. Jordan smiling before hitting the home run,
Yeah.
down to y'all's last out. All of those things, it was like, wow, when pressure's at its peak, it feels like this team knew how to sort of stay within yourselves. And that is
Yeah.
so hard. So just
It is.
congratulations.
And I honestly think like when it comes to like teams, team environment, just team sports, I think it always starts at the top. So with that starting at the top, that's our coaches, our support staff, trickling that down into us, upperclassmen and the lowerclassmen, all that. And I think just knowing that the coaches believed in us so much throughout the whole season and throughout the postseason, just really leaning in on us three seniors, just making sure that we were good, that we were in a good place, and just knowing that their confidence within this team, it never wavered no matter the scoreboard. And even till the last out, they always believed in us no matter what. And I think that's why this team played so freely. There was so much love from our coaches, and there was so much love that we had for each other. And that's truthfully where we played for. We just played for the love for each other and just for the love of the game. That it was so much fun when we played together. And yeah, it was great.
Bruin magic is real. We've
It
seen too
is.
much evidence to deny that it's real. It is so
It
real.
is. And
And
it's
a lot
awesome. We love it.
yes, lots of times it's like on the offensive side we talk about it, right? Cuz like oh some
Mm.
comeback or whatever. But I mean to know that that's always there in the background must have been nice in the
Yeah,
circle.
it was nice. I mean, Bruin Magic, it's always on our side. I think it's just like a thing that the Bruins have, honestly. I know there's probably so many interviews out there of it, but it's something that you just can't explain. It just happens. It's just something that we have, and we just know that we're going to get it done. And yeah, that's just like part of the process too. I think it also comes with preparation, that we prepare for the big moments, and when that comes to fruition throughout the game, it's awesome to see that happen.
That's a really good point because you can't control a whole lot of things, and there are
Hmm.
certainly intangibles. But to know, like, oh, well, I've done everything I possibly can, and I know my teammates have done everything that they can to
Hmm.
rise to this moment. In some ways, it's like, all right, well, takes the pressure off because you know you've done everything that you need to at that point, and now it's just being in the moment.
Yeah, and that was also like with this last team. We had a couple mottos like throughout the year, but surrender to the process was a big one that we had. So I Bleav that this team really took that to the fullest extent, really buying in, surrendering to the process, and getting after it every single day, no matter the outcome, good or bad. Just still knowing that this is part of the journey and this is what's supposed to happen. So I think that was really cool to see, especially from the younger girls like Brianna Alejandre, Alina Garcia, Can I Bragg, Riley Sliv, I go on, like just seeing them really step up in the big moments. And obviously, I get the behind the scenes of what they put in at practice, and just seeing what they've gone through and what really showed out onto the field every single game, especially during the postseason. It was awesome. It was awesome to see just from everybody.
And you're right. You talk about how close you all are, but it's one thing for people to talk about it. It's another thing for it to be really evident, right? For
Mhm.
us to be able to see it. You could see that, especially with you, Jordan, and Megan. And then at the World Series, Jordan in particular talking about getting emotional as well, talking about you and just how she said, I wish everybody could see Tins the way we see Tins. And she even said, by the way, she's like, I would die for Tins.
Yeah.
That is like the utmost loyalty. What was it like to hear that from your teammate?
Yeah, it was good. I was actually in the room, like sitting in the crowd, me and
Yeah.
Lefty Alexis, our catcher. So we were both like very emotional, and it is. I don't want to like get too emotional right now talking about it, but Jordan and I, we've been roommates since sophomore year, and so just like she has seen me like at my highest and at my lowest. So it's like just knowing that that she put that on display like for everyone, it really meant a lot because that team really did pour into me like no other. When I was down, they always picked me up, and they really did see a lot of the things that no one else got to see. So I know that every time I stepped out on the field, like it meant more. It was something more than what the other years have. What the other years have been, honestly, like there was just such a deeper connection between all the girls and I, and they did see me pretty down, and she said that she wishes that everyone could see me, but just having them like it's enough. Like that was enough for me. Just knowing that I did everything I could for them, and they knew that I did everything I could. So it was a lot, and I would die for Jordan as well. I would honestly for a lot of the girls on the team. It was just such a special year. I mean, we're even now still texting in our group chat and talking about when we're gonna hang out next. Whenever me, Jordan, and Meg are done with pro season, so that's just like I feel like you don't get that anywhere else. Like we're still talking and wanting to hang out. Like it's just so much love.
So much love. And I actually was in that press conference, saw you and Lefty come in. And so when that happened when they were talking about you and just about the team too. I was like, how special that you guys got to actually be in there and you got to hear it right away. Now, it's one thing to see like a clip later on, but you got to hear her live. I don't know. There's something very special about that.
Oh, for
that not
sure.
everyone
Yeah.
gets.
Yeah, it definitely was really special. And Lefty and I, like, we did the same thing the past couple years too. Like, whenever we were done, and Jordan and Meg, of course, they get called in for the conference. Lefty and I always have to be with them, of course. So we just always want to see what they have to say. And of course, like, we just love seeing them talk. Jordan is so well spoken and just anything that she does, and so is Meg. Like, it's just like. It's always so good to hear what they have to say about the team and about the season, no matter win or lose, honestly, just because we did everything we could for sure.
You did, and you walk away with 3 Women's College World Series appearances as a class, and that doesn't just come out of thin air. It feels like it does for UCLA sometimes because it's been, like 34 appearances now at this point, so it feels like it's easy for you all, but to be able to accomplish that, that's a really big deal too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm super proud of us, honestly. After our freshman year, just getting the team back the next 3 years was really special, and it was hard, obviously, at times because that is a very difficult thing to do. But just having the team rally around us every single year, just wanting to make the mission happen. So,
what about that environment at the World Series do you feel like is the most special and that maybe you learned the most from?
Yeah, I would say the most special is just seeing the little dot of Bruin blue behind the dugout. I think that's probably the most special thing because it honestly is a sea of red and a sea of a lot of colors. There's not very much blue, honestly, that makes it into the World Series. So just having like our fans just there for us and our families, it honestly just means the world. I Bleav that we had the best fans, even at our home games. The parents always tailgating and stuff and rallying together, and it just really shows that the Bruin bubble is really tight and it stays together. And the alumni always come back and support no matter what. And even like me and Jordan, we always get texts from alumni. Sue Enquist texts Jordan, Megan, and and I talk to Kira Garrell, and just having like that alumni base and also the fan base, it's really something special. And with the World Series, it's very loud, so I Bleav that I learned how to block out noise the easiest there. And honestly, it doesn't faze me. Like, nothing ever gets too loud and nothing's too quiet. But honestly, I know I love nothing more than silencing a crowd. It's the best feeling. So I feel like in those moments, you just really figure out how to keep the same momentum, never rising too high or getting too low in certain moments. And it's honestly it's the game within the game. Just seeing how cool can I keep it when the momentum is shifting to the other team, or how cool can I keep it when we have the big lead and we're scoring home runs, but I still need to stay here. So I think it's honestly fun as a pitcher to challenge myself in those moments of just how cool can I keep it, like how stoic can I keep my face to where people don't even know the scoreboard. And I find that fun, and I hope to bring that to AUSL as well, just seeing how well I can keep my momentum just steady and keep my same calmness throughout the whole game.
Yeah, blocking out the noise literally and figuratively.
Mhm.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Also, pretty casual text for you to be getting. Yeah, Kira girl,
Yeah, I
whatever.
know, seriously. Yeah, she's awesome too. Like, her energy just like explodes through the phone. And even whenever we see her at a couple games through the year or alumni day, like, it's always like so fun to see her and like Janice Parks, like all these great Bruins that go down in history. It's great. And even just texting with Sue Enquist is always like, I mean, her energy is unmatched, honestly, throughout the voice memos that we get. So really just connecting in that way. I mean, I think that's the bigger part about being a Bruin. You're a Bruin for life, and it's the fans, the alumni, the Bruin bubble that never wavers, and you're in it for life. You're in it, and it's really cool to see how passionate they are still about this team and about this program. And it's fun. That's what makes being a Bruin so special. The family environment just really bleeds deep. It's really cool to be a part of, and now I'm part of the alumni, so I'm excited to be on the other side of it for sure.
Well, you've been an inspiration the way that they've inspired you too.
Hmm.
Who did you kind of look to as you were growing up, coming up, even throughout your college career as a player to look up to?
Yeah, well, Elisa Fernandez, of course. I mean, she's the goat of all goats, and I even especially in my senior year, working with her extra close. I wish I could do it all over again because I loved it so much. Like, I wouldn't change anything about it, but just those days with her, the days where I was crying, the days where I felt like nothing, she was still there through it all and pushing me. And that's honestly why I Bleav I had the season that I had, because she pushed me to the fullest extent to where I didn't think I could go any longer, but I did. She had me keep on going, and it was in the best way I could have asked for. I mean, it just really shows how mental the game is, truthfully. If this isn't here, then there's really nothing, honestly. So it was great to have her with me, and obviously I looked up to her, and just having her there, and even having her now still as the GM of the Talons. So it's cool to still have her. And we chatted a little bit yesterday too in the dugout, just about everything and how life's going, because at the end of the day, she's a mom still, she's a wife, and it shows, and it shows throughout our whole coaching staff as well. Coach I, she's a mom, her daughter and I are the same age. So I think just having those strong women on the staff really bled into me and just like helped me be on the softball field. And especially when it comes to my mental health, like, they were the ones that were there for me and made sure that I was okay. And even like a big part of this last season, our director of ops, Claire Danyana, should have mentioned her earlier, but that's like my rock, like, throughout no other. I'm gonna get like emotional talking about her, but just, I honestly, like, I don't do anything that I did this season without Claire there by my side. She saw me throughout like the darkest times, and so did our catcher Alexis Lefty. They really helped me throughout it all. They were there for me, and Claire just always like checking in, and I'm able to vent and everything with her. It was honestly so special. And Coach Lisa and Coach I got glimpses of those moments, and Coach Lisa and I kind of touched on it a little bit yesterday about just where I'm at mentally. And she really cares. She really cares. When she cares about you, she's gonna ride for you, and that's the beauty of like her being able to coach there and even get to coach in the pros, because I love that all the pros get to see like that side of Coach Lisa and have her ride for them in that way, because they didn't get her throughout their 4 years of college or maybe more, but just having them get that piece of Coach Lisa, I Bleav everybody deserves it. Everyone should get a piece of it. It's awesome. She's so special. She's a warrior. She's competitive. She is so mentally sound. It's awesome to get to learn from her, and she rides for you till the end. It's amazing. It's a blessing for sure.
How cool to have the GOAT throughout your collegiate career. But
Mhm.
now she's the GM of the Talons too. So
Yeah,
you're not done with her. She's not done with you. You wouldn't be anyway because of the Bruin bubble, but literally more on a day-to-day basis throughout the
exactly,
season.
exactly. I love it. It's the best. It's the best.
And Jordan, like you said, still
Yeah,
teammates.
and Jordan, and it's cool too. Like, there's so many Bruins on the Talents team as well too. So, and me like getting to be back in the bullpen with Megan Framo. We were in the bullpen together my freshman year, so that's been really fun to just get back into learning from her and everything. Because honestly, like, the way that I finished out my season, the way I carried out the next 3 years of my season after she graduated, all because of her. Like, I watched her, I learned from her, and my style of play, I hope, resembles her in some way, because it is an idol of mine, and so cool to also call it a friend of mine now too. So I really did take the way that she left the program and try to carry it on, especially when it came to the bullpen and the way that she carried the team in a way, just being a voice, being a leader by example. So I think I try to model my game a lot throughout my seasons in college from Megan. So for it to come back around and be on a staff with her, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love talking with her, laughing with her, and just learning new things too. And even like getting to learn from Montana and Dallas Escobedo and Sarah Willis, like, have some like great people on staff. Like, I can't wait. Like, it's been so fun to just watch them throw, honestly, and just see how their mind works and really learn from that.
I'm honestly just so happy for you that not many people get to play with and be coached by some of their idols. And you're getting to do that with Megan, with Lisa, and then of course all the other names that you just mentioned. Like, that's
Yeah.
just very, very cool. I don't know if that type of thing has sunk in yet.
Yeah,
But it's
not
cool.
really, honestly. Hasn't really sunk in. I talked to my therapist yesterday, and I got a little emotional talking about it, because I'm like, dang, I finished graduation. I came straight here, kind of just thrown into it. I haven't pitched yet, which I'm not mad about. I love just like being and learning. So I'm like taking everything in, and I'm just kind of watching, being the biggest cheerleader that I can for this team. And I just love being on a team. Like I said earlier, I just love team sports, and which is honestly ironic because my second sport that I love is golf. But it's like so much fun just like being on a team sport and being with this new team with all of these all Americans and all these goats. And I think yesterday talking with my therapist, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is actually my life right now. So it was a little overwhelming just to really like sit down and think about it. But I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that Coach Lisa drafted like Jordan and I together to come to her team and to be on this team with all these great players and great women also. Just hearing them talk in the team meetings, like hearing what Montana has to say and Hannah Flippin, Jada Coleman, like hearing what they all have to say within team meetings, it is honestly like so cool. It's so cool. I'm trying to like ground myself and not like fangirl almost too, but it's like, oh my gosh, like my teammates are so dang awesome, and the determination that they have to win and to create a healthy team environment, it's awesome. It's sick. It's exactly what I tried to do in college, and I Bleav it's what I did do within my last year. So it's really cool to see it from a different perspective of me now, not necessarily having to be the most vocal leader, but now I get to just lead by example in that way and just learn from them and listen to what they have to say and really just carry out like those words. So I'm so blessed. I seriously, it's awesome.
Even before you knew that you were going to the Talons, which was exciting enough in itself, when you first got the golden ticket, just the way it happened too, like you got it individually, but then to get it with Megan, with Jordan, it's obviously 3 was the most that we've ever seen from one school, all of those things. What was that moment like for you to know, I'm going to play professional softball?
Yeah, it was honestly like kind of crazy in the moment because I didn't really like process it until like kind of like a little bit later of like, oh my gosh, like we all 3 are literally going to play pro. Because I think it honestly made me think of, oh my gosh, we're actually graduating, like this is crazy. So I
True.
feel like it was just kind of a cementing moment of like, okay, like this is it. Like this is senior year. After this, I'm going to play pro ball for the summer. So it was really special to have it with those 3. And even when Megan got her ticket, you could see her kind of looking around like, what about you guys? Like, what about you guys? And then it kind of went on one by one. So I think that also shows just how close the bond is between us 3. And me and Jordan really, really miss Megan. And we wish she was on this team with us. But we got to hang out with her a little bit when we played the Cascade last weekend. And she's doing great. She loves her team. And I just seeing her smile and seeing her in a good place, like that's enough for me, honestly. Like I just always want her to be happy and the best. So and I miss her a lot. So I'm excited that we get to play like you play each team twice, I Bleav. So I'm glad that we get to see her again and go to Portland and hang out with her there.
Honestly, the photo of you, Jordan, and Megan in your pro uniforms. First of all, it was a little weird not seeing you in like Bruin blue, right?
Yeah.
But so cool. Like just all that
Yeah.
it represented was really cool to see when you guys were all together.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, no, it felt so weird. Still feels weird, like not wearing blue all the time. But honestly, green looks good. Me and Jordan were saying green looks good on brown skin. So like we're taking it. Like
Hey,
we're loving this. So I like it.
I love that. I don't know if you can tell. This is a little dark green, but I am wearing green for you as
Oh, there
well.
we go.
Had to.
Representing. I love it. And you look great in it too. Let's go.
Thank you. It is my favorite color, so just that
Oh,
alone,
nice.
you know,
I always said
talents.
like sage green was up there for me. Like sage green,
Mm,
like kind of lighter greens, but I'm kind of liking the darker green too. Like it's rubbing off on me.
yeah,
Blue, of course, has been the favorite, but I'm liking
obviously.
this color for sure.
Expanding. I love that. I love that for
Mm.
you. I mean, a young league, right? But also a franchise that really established itself last year in a lot of ways too. You know, winning the championship for AUSL, of course. I mean, you already mentioned the goat because who can't as the GM and stuff. And it's funny how quickly a culture can come together because that is sort of a common theme that I'm seeing just from folks who were on the team last year, people who are new, rookies like you. There's sort of a consistent thing about the Talons and that culture that's there, and that's really impressive.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it starts at the top. And I think that
Yeah.
just Coach Lisa getting a lot of girls that kind of honestly like have almost the same mentality together. I think that's a really special thing. Everybody is wanting to win, of course. I Bleav everybody's wanting to win, but it kind of the way that it projects onto the team. Like you can tell there's some dogs on our team. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that really get down to it and down and gritty for this team in order to win. So I think I obviously haven't been here too long, but just from this last week of seeing, I think that this team is definitely resilient in what we have to do, and we really just come out like ready every single time, just banding together and just making sure that we're sticking to what we know and just playing ball how we know and just coming together in that way. It's really cool to see. Just like getting on here so soon and just seeing it happen like this. Yeah.
What was it like when you first put on the Talons uniform for game day? I know that you're still waiting to get your debut to in the circle, but when you first put the uniform on and were with your teammates, what was that moment like?
Yeah, it was really weird. It funny they put Jordan and I in lockers next to each other, and so we both put it on. We're just looking at each other. We're like, heck, and we're like, does this color look good on me? Like, I don't even know if this color looks good on me, but it was really cool. Like, I think it was just another wow moment of just this is the next chapter. This is where we are now at in our life, and I think that was it was just like a very surreal moment of oh my gosh, like we're playing professional softball, like here we go. And even now, like I'm Jordan's throwing partner, like we're playing catch and stuff, so it's like dang, like we're in this together, like let's go. Like it's really fun, it's really fun, and I love it so far. Even though last weekend we didn't get the outcome that we wanted, I still was growing and learning throughout those moments, and I think it was a really good learning experience like for all of us. And there were still moments of like awesome. Like in our last endings of the games, like both days we could have came out with a win. So it's really cool just like get used to it, just to get used to everything. And yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
I would imagine you're still getting used to it, right? Like it's such early days that we're having this conversation. But when you do get the ball for the first time, what do you anticipate that you might feel in that moment when it becomes even more real that you're a professional pitcher?
Yeah, I'm anticipating a lot of emotions, honestly. I think it's gonna be fun for sure. I'm gonna have fun. I just love pitching in general. I just love having the ball. So I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna feel a little bit, excuse me, a little bit surreal, especially we're playing at this really awesome stadium. So I'm excited for that. And I'm definitely gonna be working with Dr. Mondo before that comes. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited just to go to battle with this team and these girls and to just show them like what I have. But I even know that no matter fail or succeed, like they're gonna have my back no matter what. So, and that's part of the game too. You're gonna fail, so no one's perfect. And I'm really excited to just go out and just like give it my all and really just like have fun with it. Yeah.
And going back to the beginning, what was it about pitching that made you fall in love with that part of this sport?
Yeah, I honestly like I remember an interview that I did at the World Series actually post game. They asked me that, and the first thing I like could think about because I think it was after we lost my sophomore year, I Bleav, and I think literally the first thing that came to mind, I said like, oh, like I just like having the ball, like I just like having all the attention on me, and I'm like, did I mean for it like that, like to come out that way? Which like kind of like I did in a way, like I did start pitching because I loved controlling the game. Like that's really what I want to say. Not
Right.
all the attention's on me, but like it is. So I think it's more so I have control of the game, and I love the fact that I get to honestly like create the destiny for the defense and just really have us go out there and knowing that I can control where this ball goes. I can get a ground ball out of this. I can get a pop fly out of this. I think that's the beauty of pitching. Like you do it to compete and you can do it to win little individual wins within the big win of the game. And I love challenging myself in that way, and especially just how mental the position is and how easily it is to get caught up in your own thoughts and to get lost and lose track of really where you need to be at. I think that's what also creates strong women is just this position really tests you beyond belief. You really have to give your 100% focus for a decent amount of time, and to let other negative thoughts flow out one year, like come in one year, flow out the other year. I think
Yeah.
it's really it takes a special person, I think, to really just be a pitcher. And I think that's why there's so many great pitchers within the game now. And I just love watching softball too. And I love watching every pitcher compete. Like, that's the beauty of the sport and of my position. I love seeing women and girls go out there and just really give it their all, because I have been there in like the bad moments and I've been there in my best moments. So I think it's cool just to really like rise with every single outing. No matter good or bad, you still rise and get better from it no matter what. So I think that's what I love about it.
It seems like your work ethic and your commitment is really a lifelong thing too. I know you've talked about working in the basement like with your dad
Yeah.
growing up. How do you think that shaped you?
Yeah, it definitely shaped me on how to control my emotions, I would say. Because I think every pitcher has been there where their dad or mom thinks that they know everything about pitching and you get so annoyed by it. That was like my biggest thing when I was younger. I never wanted my parents to coach me, I wanted it to only come from my coaches. So anytime my dad would say something, I would always be like, can we not? Like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But I'm so grateful for those moments, because I do believe it shaped me just to be coachable, like to hear things that I don't want to hear. Because at the end of the day, he's trying to help me, and he probably did know what he was talking about. Like I was 10. Like, come on. But it's honestly, it's just really taking constructive criticism like to the fullest extent at that point. I mean, just pitching is all about developing and getting better with every single thing. You always are working to get better. You're never perfect. So really just being coachable in that way and just taking any little bit of advice that I can get, because I welcome that now. I want to learn more. I want to hear if something isn't the best. Especially even when I throw with a lefty, like I'm back at school, like she always was honest with me about like that's not your best spin, or that's not that wasn't your best changeup, stuff like that. And I'm gonna miss that. And I know that the catchers here, Charlize and SJ, like they're gonna be like that with me as well. And that's what I welcome. That's what I want. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And yeah.
Well, and you also were a multi sport athlete growing up, right? You said it a minute ago that golf's your second favorite sport. You played golf, you played basketball too, right?
Yes, I played golf. I played basketball in high school. I stopped playing basketball about like my sophomore year to focus a little bit more on softball so I didn't get injured. But yeah, I loved playing all those sports for sure. It was fun. And even like in high school, I went to a really small high school, about 70 something people in my graduating class. And I grew up with all those people, private school. And so even like staying in touch now with all those girls, like it's the best. Like I love talking with them and seeing that where life has brought us to this point. And playing golf, golf is like my dad and I is like that's our thing. So getting the chance to go home and play with him, it's honestly so fun. And even now, like we're at Dell Diamond Stadium, there's like a little putting thing in the locker room, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. My dad would love this. So yeah, I love getting active like within other sports for sure. It's a lot of fun.
I think it's a cool part of your journey and important for young ones to hear too, right? That like you tried a bunch of different things and like, yes, you've obviously pursued softball to the highest possible level. But you did do some other things too. You also took a chance, you know, you're a kid from Georgia and you went all the way to California to chase a dream as well. That's not easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was honestly the best decision I've ever made. Essentially, it pretty much changed the trajectory of my life. So I would say, like Coach I, she always says that the two most important decisions you'll make is who you marry and what college you go to. So
Mm.
I'm really starting to believe that right now. Wow, like me going to UCLA changed a lot for my life in the best way. I am so glad I took that risk and took that jump to really just pack up and move across the country to something that I honestly had no idea what I was getting into. And it was the best. Like, I mean, coming in as a freshman, it was very intimidating. I was very scared, and everybody welcomed me with open arms. And that's why I picked UCLA, is because of the family environment and of that standard of just excellence, of greatness. And that's what I wanted to be. So, and I just wanted to leave the program better than I found it. And I believe I did a pretty good job at that, especially my last year of just bleeding into all the younger Bruins that were coming up in this program. So, yeah.
You did an excellent job of that, even as
Thank you.
someone outside of the program, just as somebody who watched and who hears how other people in your program talk about you. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
that's such a big part of it, right? And that's what we all, I think, when it comes down to our why, there's this element of wanting to leave it better than we found it.
Yeah,
That's
for
bigger
sure.
than we all want to win. You said it earlier. Everyone wants to win. That
Yeah.
is a given, especially at this level. But that piece of representing more, being a part of something bigger, that's, I think, where we see the real impact.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Just playing for something bigger than myself, of course, because just the history of UCLA and the program, I mean, that's honestly speaks for itself. But even just to be a part of that history and a part of everything, that's honestly just so awesome that I can say that I have been a part of history, and especially coming off of such a historic season for our offense, breaking so many records. I mean, knowing that I was a part of that team, and let alone I got to pitch for that team, and that's awesome. Like I love that, and it just shows also how much the coaches really poured into us this year. Yeah.
It does. And it made you, even more so than you already were, be this representation for young girls to look up to. Because I
Hmm.
think that's part of the like leave it better than we found it, right? It's for the sport as a whole too, not just the
For
program.
sure.
It's as much as possible. And I remember too being in one of the press conferences at the World Series where you were asked a question. Cliff from ESPN Anscape asked you this. It was about watching Odyssey Alexander pitch in the Women's College World Series and what that was like for you to see someone who looked like you out there doing her thing in the circle, taking her team as far as she did, etc. And your reaction was, I loved it because you were really excited about the question. You're like, thank you so much for asking that question.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really insightful and very cool.
Yeah, that question was honestly the best because I mean, growing up, there weren't many pitchers that looked like me, honestly, especially coming from back at home in Georgia. I felt like I was probably one of the only black
Mm.
pitchers or even mixed pitchers at that. So now, especially now coming to the pro, it's so awesome to see how many there are like out there and representing us. Like we just played Aaliyah Binford like yesterday. Nigel Kennedy's on the other team as well, and Sarah Willis is on our side. Just having that representation within the sport, especially for pitching, I Bleav that it's awesome to see. And I think, like I said in the interview, I think the third, I think I'm the third black pitcher at UCLA, or third or second, one of those. And that's really awesome. And I hope that there's more young girls that look like me that can strive to be in this position, to want it as bad as all of us did. And I just loved the question. It was awesome. It was so cool too, because me and Jordan were actually just talking about it in class the day before that we left. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the universe. Like we got to talk about it on the big stage, of course.
Well, and that's something that comes across, I think, with both of you, but I'm talking to you right now. So, with you in particular, um, just this care for what the big picture is, I guess. Like it's such a balance, isn't it? Because you've talked about like how you kind of have to block out so much noise, right, to try to just stay focused on what's in front of you, have sort of that tunnel vision. But then there's also this like understanding and care about like what is that bigger picture and the bigger impact at the same time. So that's something to balance, and that's not always easy either.
Yeah, and I think UCLA prepped us great for that, honestly, because just being in a program like UCLA, just from the jump, like you're trained to know that this is bigger than you. The program is bigger than yourself. So I Bleav at the age of 18, I'm learning, oh, wow, like this isn't like high school ball or travel ball. Like just kind of coming in and realizing that the program runs so much deeper than ourselves, and knowing that you are leaving a lasting impact. And I think seeing how many alumni come back to UCLA and seeing how many come back and support, come back to the field, even on practice days sometimes, like just knowing that alumni is always there, it just speaks for the program itself that this is a lifelong thing. Like you're making a lasting impact for the next generation. And so I Bleav with UCLA and just with the sport of softball in general, I really took that into consideration, that especially now with the media as well, I am on a platform and I want to be a great example for young girls to really look up to, because I was that young girl at one point. So yeah.
Your college career might be complete, but you've played internationally. You are obviously starting out your professional career now. When the day comes that you decide to hang up your cleats, what do you hope that your legacy is that you left behind?
I hope that it was that I really just was the epitome of a good teammate. That's the biggest thing I pride myself in. I am everybody's biggest cheerleader. I truthfully get emotional about others' success over my own. Whenever I succeed, it just kind of feels like, okay, cool. But whenever I see my teammates succeed, it is overwhelming. Like it's so much joy. Even like yesterday, Kaylee Wyckoff really came through for our team, and as well Taylor Beal got her first professional hit. I was in the outfield warming up, but that was just so awesome. Like to see those two girls just really get their own. Like it was so cool just to see them like come out and perform for us. So even just like meeting them for a short amount of time, like I truthfully just love playing the sport and seeing people succeed, seeing people get what they really hope and dream of, and just being a competitor at that as well. Just I'm able to bleed into others through my competitive edge. So I hope that I also inspire others to really get out there and compete and to be as gritty as they can and without any shame to it. Just be authentically yourself and act like nobody's watching and just get out there and really truthfully like give it your all. And I Bleav that that is something that I can leave with this sport is I'm authentically myself, and I am emotional. I am a feeler. I'm going to cry. I'm going to feel all the emotions that I want to feel, but I'm still going to get after it. I mean, even like in our last game, when Jordan like tied up the home run, I ran to the bathroom and immediately started bawling my eyes out, and then got back out there to pitch on the mound. So I mean, I think it just shows that you need to feel your emotions, and I hope that I can advocate for a lot of people within the sport now and younger girls growing up that it's okay to feel, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be happy and cry. Like it's all part of it, and just letting yourself feel all those things. I think it emptying the tank and emptying your nervous system, that's what's going to get you at your best for play. And it's something that I work on with Dr. Mondo a lot. I probably sound like him a little bit here, but it's important just to really get everything off your chest like in that way and just go back and compete and just don't be ashamed of who you are. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
That is a superpower, Taylor, in my opinion. That
Thank
is
you.
outstanding. Yeah. Yeah. Easier
Thanks.
said than done, but to actually
Yeah,
do
easier said than
it,
done.
huge. Yeah. Honestly, I want to keep talking to you about every single thing right now. Like I could keep going
And
for
I love
hours and
talking about it. I
hours.
love talking about it.
Because you're also just so smart, by the way. Like
Oh, thank
so
you.
like the insight that you have, and like sure, Dr. Mondo, shout out to him because I'm sure that that contributed to it, but I just feel like the perspective that you have is you're wise beyond your years, and
Thank you.
it's really cool. It's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it also comes from like, I love connecting with humans. Like, I think that's something that I always talked about a lot, like in team meetings, that at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of humans that Coach Lisa decided to recruit to come together. Like,
Yeah.
this sport isn't seriously, it's not the end of the world. And we love winning. We want to win so bad, but we are all human at the end of the day. And this is just a part of each and one of our life. And it's just a short chapter of it, too. College was. And now pro is going to be another chapter. So I just love connecting with people and learning about people, and that's just the beauty of life. I love it.
What a moment to end on, and by end I mean go into our wrap up.
Hmm.
But that was just so well said. But I do wrap
Thank you.
up with everybody who comes on the show with a game. So
Okay.
even Lisa, even the goat, played this game, just so you
Oh
know. But
gosh.
when she came on, but basically it's called Safe or Out. So I will just bring up a topic, and if you like it or you agree with it, you call it safe. If not, you call it out.
Okay.
I find like pitchers are excited because they get to be the umpire basically for
Yeah,
once,
we
you
like
know.
being the umpire for sure.
Yeah, for once, you know. Uh,
Right.
okay, so the first one is the pitch comm technology. So like getting the signs, on your bracelet that
Mm.
you're wearing versus, numbers flashing from the catcher or the dugout. Safe or out.
I'm gonna say safe. Yeah, safe.
Okay.
Because if it messes up, you can always go to hand signals. A lot easier.
True. True. Because that's something I
Yeah.
haven't asked pitchers and catchers and coaches really enough is how do you actually like it? Because it's different than like back in our day, right? Like it's a little
Right.
different, but
No, yeah, I like it because like it's fast and then everybody knows what's coming, like the infield, the outfield, everything like that. But then of course if it messes up, then okay, like let's just go back to doing our hand signals, like throw down a sign, like if you shake it off, like just go down to here. And I
yeah.
think that's like really cool because now it's not all just here and you're not just shaking off, shaking off, shaking off. Like you get a signal, it's like, oh no, I don't want that. And usually the next one's the good one. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Technology, right? We talk about it all the time.
Right. Technology.
Okay, that was the first one. The second one is the college strike zone.
The college strike zone, definitely out, because what the heck? It's so, I would say, like, what the heck, because the inconsistency is just
Yeah.
really, really apparent in a lot of games. It's very tight, which I totally understand. I don't think you should be giving like crazy, crazy strike calls. I think there has to be a limit.
Sure.
But some of them, like, it gets pretty sus. It's pretty sus sometimes. And then the AU strike zone is way bigger. So I think that's going to be an adjustment of just, okay, like now it went from literally only pitch it down the middle almost to now you can throw it in the other batter's box. I don't really know. So I think the strike zone in general, there needs to be some taming with that for sure.
Well, you said it, consistency being the most important part, obviously. But that's the thing, because that was a big topic, right? Especially for all of us watching. But you were in it, right? You actually felt it from game to game. And because it did seem like truly it did affect pitchers, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. It did. And I think that's honestly where it comes, like, how mentally strong can you be? And
True.
It's another game within the game. It's another test. Like, okay, the strike zone sucks. Like, let me be strong through this. Act like it doesn't phase me.
And I have heard, you brought it up, but that for pro, the zone is bigger. And so for pitchers, it's like kind of adjusting, and it's a good adjustment to make, right? It's like a nice thing to have as a pitcher.
For
but
sure.
It is like, oh, okay, I can go river here. I don't have to, like,
No, yeah, like I can go a little bit river. I feel bad for the hitters, though, because I know that is really frustrating because some of the calls, it is a little bit outrageous, I'll say, but I guess we can move on from that. But I do feel bad because some of the calls, it's like, oh my gosh, that sucks. But
you're like, that's a pitcher's pitch. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's a pitcher's pitch. Like,
we just need to find something in the middle then, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of balance. A little bit of balance.
Yeah. Okay, that was the second one. The last one is bat flips. Safe or out?
Safe, for sure. I love bat flipping. Like, that is so awesome. Obviously, it sucks to be on the other side of it, but it is just cool when you just get to do something awesome for your team. I think no matter what, like no matter on the side of the bat flipping or on the opposing side, you got to give it to them. Like, that's just such a cool moment, and it is like it's a core memory. Like, it's a core memory, especially if you bat flip in a really high stake moment, like Jordan's bat flip, tying up the game. Like, that's something that's gonna live with her and live with me like forever. So I think it's really cool that people do it. I love it. It's just it creates really like strong memories for sure, and I love watching them too. Honestly, of course, when I'm not on the other side, but when I'm watching them, like, it's awesome. So.
That is progressive of you as a pitcher. Some pitchers feel strongly, the other way. But you're right. That was probably one of the most epic bat flips that I've ever seen, was that moment with Jordan at the World Series. A lot of Bruins I've talked to, especially the ones who are from like earlier generations of the program, it's not their style. They're like, no, I'm not bat flipping for me. But in that moment, I was like, I think every UCLA alum has got to be like, that was so sick.
For sure. Like, you had to. You had to love that moment.
Too good. That's literally the moment that it's made for, is something like that.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you, Taylor. This was awesome. TNT, I should say.
Yes.
I love that nickname too. You're Dynamite, It's just It is. But I'm excited to see.
My parents knew what they were doing when they were naming me, so.
I kind of love that when that works out so well, because nicknames in sports are awesome. It's like a fun part of our world. So love that for you.
Thank you.
But you know what? Congratulations again on a fantastic collegiate career. But I'm so excited to see everything that you do, and I'm just excited that we have pro softball so that people like you can continue their careers. And I'm excited to watch you.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I love that I got to come here and like share a piece of my story for sure. So it means a lot. Thank you.
I got to interview Taylor before a couple years ago on the D1 Softball podcast, but as I sat in the press box at the Women's College World Series and watched what she did, I just knew that I wanted to talk with her again because so much had happened since then as well. And I started to call her Taylor Winsley after she led the nation in wins in the college season. I forgot to tell her that. I did tell Megan Grant, her teammate, that in Oklahoma City, but Taylor lived up to that name in her pro debut. That is for sure. And yes, for those who've listened to the pod before, champ camps are still a thing at UCLA. We were chatting about this after we were done recording. I've talked about this on the show with Kelly Inouye Perez back in season 3, I think, of the show, Lise Fernandez, Megan Faremo in season 4, and later on in the show. It is how the pitchers for UCLA get in the best shape of their lives, and they just really put themselves to the test and push themselves. Taylor's going to be a grad assistant next year, putting the bullpen through those. So full circle in a lot of ways. With that, let's bring it home. You've been listening to Bleav in Softball, part of Bleav Network, presented by FanDuel. The show is available anywhere you get your podcasts, wherever you listen, including Bleav.com and YouTube, too. Subscribe to the show, rate the show, and if you liked it, write a review. You can follow us on X and Instagram at Bleav in Softball. Again, that's BLEAV. You can reach out to me personally on X at Jenna Becerra01 and Instagram at Jenna Becerra as well. Catch new episodes every other week this season, as you have been this year, and thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you soon.